Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, from a location that is not my normal location. This is another sort of market update here, talking about silver prices, especially silver prices, because silver, it has room to rise, but it also has room to fall. And I'm cautiously optimistic about silver and its price movement in the coming days and weeks. But we're going to talk about some circumstances and situations where the price could continue to fall amidst what's been going on around the world here lately. So I looked at a few articles here online. First, I checked out Kitco, talking about how these pullbacks that we've been seeing here recently, especially today, are essentially corrections. They're normal price pullbacks where there's this very strong uptrend in the charts. And this is something that has happened in the past, of course, but typically this type of activity means that we're probably on the cusp of probably another rise, perhaps both gold and silver. You heard me talk about earlier in the week about how gold, especially, even though it's broke its nominal highs, of a record since 2011, it still has a way to go adjusted for inflation. There's real dollars. In fact, it'd probably be about $2,200 before we see it as a corrective as what it would be equal to in 2020 dollars. But nonetheless, silver has quite a ways to go. There's a lot of headroom for silver to move in the upwards direction for sure, but also, as we saw today with the pullback, silver is more volatile than gold. So when it moves faster both ways, up and down, and we saw that movement go down as well. But nonetheless, there's a lot going on. Obviously the pandemic is wreaking havoc in terms of its on the economy. We've seen an uptick in jobs, 12,000 new unemployment, and something about the second quarter GDP, and it came in at negative 10.1% from the first quarter and down 11.7% year on year. And these numbers were the worst on record dating back 50 years. So there's some issues. There's going to be slower recovery than we thought, as Jerome Powell mentioned. And what is their answer to that? Well, more quantitative easing, more money printing. Congress is at a stalemate with this CARES Act Part 2, or relief package. But all bets are that it'll be mirrored pretty much the same as we saw before, maybe with some slight modifications, up to and including $1,200 checks for each of us, and more if you have kids. And I tell you what, that money, I might put it towards gold. I tell you, it is something else. But nonetheless, silver. So what is the deal with silver? What are we looking at here? Silver's poor man's gold. There was an article on Market Watch that I looked at, and there is something about silver that is very interesting. It's called the poor man's gold because some of the same factors that cause gold prices to rise do the same thing to silver prices, which is from our former Mint director, Edmund C. Moy, who actually is now a chief market strategist at a gold retailer, Valerium. And what is driving gold prices now are mainly the fear of inflation due to the magnitude of the monetary and fiscal stimulus worldwide. So it's not just here in the United States. We're seeing this kind of thing happen from the European Central Bank, Japanese Central Bank, China, other places. All around the world this is occurring. And so this is a flight safety due to the uncertainty around and how the global economy will recover. And since silver is cheaper in ounces than gold, and its prices are much more volatile, it's been lagging behind the gold rise, and the ratio of the number of ounces silver to buy an ounce of gold is historically high, implying that either gold is overpriced and silver is underpriced. And actually, I disagree with both those notions. I think that gold really has a lot of room to move. Gold has a lot of more room to move upwards, especially when you take into account inflation. And silver has even more room to move upwards when you take into account inflation. In fact, silver is historically low. Why is it so low? We've talked about that in the past as well. Silver is historically low because of the way silver is seen in the marketplace. In other words, it is utilized in industry and technology and the biomedical field, and its uses are more diverse now than ever before in history. And I think that that view as a commodity is having a grand effect on the price of how people see it. And the people that trade the ETFs see that essentially as a commodity, just like copper and anything else. Now, I know that some people will get upset with me making that comparison, but that is the psychology of the marketplace, I believe, with silver. And because of that, I think it's been proven out back what happened in March when silver went down to under $12 an ounce. In fact, it went down to $11.74 for the spot price. Now, that is the paper price, it's not the physical price. In a sense, we are operating in two different worlds there, but nonetheless, it is that price that is driving the markets from the COMEX, and that's what brought it down. And so that is one of the factors that could essentially bring silver down more than up, at least in the short term, as we go through and people take profits from the rise. You think about it, silver essentially doubled in price since March. From March to July, silver doubled in spot price. Obviously, that doubling did not occur by any stretch of any imagination in the physical world, but it did in the world of ETFs, SLV, and in the markets. And so that is something that could happen again, I believe, as people take profits or sell if they get nervous. And I believe that very well could happen again. And that could keep the separation wide between gold and silver because of how it is viewed. And that is something that many people are having to come to grips to with regards to silver. And it's also why many people have been frustrated with silver. Now, I am cautiously optimistic, and I believe that silver will rise along with gold. It may not squeeze that ratio down like it should, somewhere around the 60-to-1, as what Edmund C. Moy talked about in this article here. But nonetheless, I believe that it will rise along with gold. Gold is a driving factor, and I believe that when we do see the rise in silver prices, it did get up to $26 an ounce recently. Now it is down $23 and change. When we do see that, then that is silver acting as an insurance policy, essentially as a hedge. People are looking for a safe haven. When gold is too expensive, they're going to buy silver in the ETFs and also in the physical, although we are seeing very heavy premiums now on the physical side for silver. But that is something to keep in mind. So when the price falls, we're seeing that price fall because of it being seen as a commodity. When the price rises, people are looking for that safe haven support, and that's where silver comes into play. The trick is how far do we go to when people realize that the people who are buying silver in the ETF or even in the physical that are buying it, that are causing the price to go up, do we see more of those that see it as that hedge, really essentially as money? How many of those people are going to win out from those who are buying it as an offset to some other commodity on exchanges? That is the real key. Silver has room to rise, silver has room to fall, and I believe that we are here to hold on and to acquire this precious commodity, silver, with that understanding that it could rise and it could fall. For the story behind this particular silver eagle, at the end screen will be a video that I posted just recently that I think you might enjoy if you haven't seen it. This is 30 years worth of wear. So there you have it, from a location that is not my location. That's right, I am not at my present location. This is an out-of-body experience, or an out-of-mind experience. I'm out of my mind for the things I say sometimes, so I apologize for that. But I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video. And I want to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.